Everybody, welcome. Matt Haviland here, and we are getting started with our May coaching video and coaching call. And we're going to be talking about the database today, all about the database, and something I'm really passionate about. I think it's real estate is when you think about it, it's really just about relationships. Keeping in touch with people, whether it's friends, family members, past clients. You meet new people, you let them know what you're doing. Put them into the database, keep in touch with them. So today we're going to be really talking about the database, and I think this is such a key, important component that sometimes gets overlooked, sometimes doesn't. We don't put a whole lot of thought into the database and really think about it too much. So we do want to take some time and really think about the database today, and we're going to be going through some resources to help you to get your database together. And the heart of your business is your database, and the heartbeat of your business is your regular contact with your database. So it's important to have the database, although if we don't communicate with the database, then it's not really going to be a benefit for us. So don't think of your database as a file or a software program or simply a mailing list. Your database is the record of your business. It's your success, and it's the potential that you have. In other words, it is your business, and you'll use it to record contact information from the leads, track interactions with them, assign marketing plans, appropriate marketing plans. So here's something to think about. When you hear a doctor or a lawyer selling their practice, what are they really selling? Well, it's really the contact database and the relationships they've built with the people in it. That's what they're selling. And when you're building your real estate business, it's the same thing. Your business is your database. If you were to sell your business down the road and you don't have a database, you don't have a business. So let's talk about tools. I mean, sometimes the database can be a little overwhelming, and especially for people that maybe not the most technology savvy. So the database can be a little overwhelming. Let's talk about some of the tools now. One is a 3x5 index cards. Even if you had a 3x5 index cards, you had them in a shoebox, you had them listed by date or by month, and then, okay, I'm going to contact this person this month, I'm going to put it in 3 months from now, move that card to the back of the file, and I'll contact them again. Or maybe you might have alphabetized order of all the people that you know. So you could really do this with a database with just a bunch of 3x5 index cards and a couple of shoeboxes, and that could be your database. You might step up to an electronic spreadsheet like a Microsoft Excel or Google Documents or something like that. Personal information manager, maybe you're using your email like Microsoft Outlook, something along those lines. Database management system. There's some various management systems, and then there's also contact management systems. And now with Keller Williams, we have our own database management system called eEdge, which is a tool that we have available to us that captures all these things. You can record contact information, you can communicate with them systematically, automatically. So that's a great tool, the eEdge. So the question is, what's the best type of database tool to use? And the answer is the one that you actually use and use it systematically. So you could have all the greatest tools in the world, and if you don't use them, it doesn't mean anything. So you're better off with that 3x5 index card shoebox. If that's something that you use, go ahead and stick with that. It doesn't have to be the most high-tech advanced tool. So you want to make sure that whatever you're using, that you actually use it. Whatever you're working towards with that database, that you actually use it and communicate with the people in the database systematically. So there are 4 laws that we're going to cover in this class. Number 1 is build a database. 2 is feed it every day. And 3, communicate with it in a systematic way. And then 4, service all the leads that come your way. So let's talk a little bit about that. First of all, building your database. The truth is the size of your real estate database, the size of your real estate business over time will be in direct proportion to the size and the quality of your database. So the bigger database you have, the bigger business you have, and the bigger quality of that database. You could have, I could go out and get 1,000 names and pull them off the internet and put them into my database, but if I don't even know who these people are, they don't know me, that's not really a quality database. That's just a bunch of people I might be emailing or calling randomly that don't know who I am. So we want to work on the size and the quality of the database. Okay. Now, where do contacts come from? And there's a lot of sources of ways that if you picture your database as a lake, and then you've got all these different streams and tributaries and rivers and things coming into the lake, feeding the lake, and that's like what you're thinking about with the database. So you might have personal networking, expired listings, withdrawn listings, for sale by owners, a demographic farm, calling office, people that call in on the office or maybe on your listings. You might be doing a seminar. You might have people calling in from the yard sign. You might do a client party, community involvement. You meet people out at some community event. You're sending out a mailing. You get a response to that. Put them in the database. Geographic farms. Okay, I'm going to farm people in my neighborhood, or I'm going to put them in the database. Any advertising you do, you get a response to that. You put them in the database. Web searches, builders, past clients, family, other agents. Could be other agents from Keller Williams or not. That may be in different markets or different locations that could be referring business to you. And it could be also it could be friends, business network, personal referrals, business referrals, visitors to the open house. Could be just random conversations that you have with people. You meet people, you end up putting them into your database. Door knocking. So there's a lot of different ways, and thank you for those of us just joining us. Who's joining us now?
Denise Milby.
Denise?
Yes.
All right, hello, welcome. Yeah, so we're talking about the database and just describing, if you picture your database as a lake, and you have all these different streams and rivers running into the lake to fill it up. So you have a lot of different sources of ways that you can add people to your database, and these are all just ways that you can go about bringing them into the database. And Denise, let me ask you, do you use a database right now?
I've been collecting. The girls in the office have been giving me rentals to do, so I've been collecting emails and all of that database from that, and they've let me do some open houses, so I'm putting them all into the thing, and then I'll start to put them into the groups to send out. Okay, and are you using the E-Edge, the Keller Williams E-Edge system? I have the contacts in there. I haven't created the event things yet. Like the campaigns that go along with it? Okay. Correct. Right. Okay, great. So you're already in that process. Are you getting people from the rentals that you're meeting and whatever leads that are coming in, putting them into the database? So that's great. So you're off to a good start there. And I don't know if you ever heard this concept that there's basically with Keller Williams, they have a couple of different categories of people. We like to categorize. It's pretty simple. Haven't mets and mets. So if you think of the haven't mets, those are people that you haven't met and who don't know you. So that's the general public. It could be a target group of people that haven't met and don't know you. Maybe a specific geographic area. Okay, I've got a development or community that I'm going to target. Those are people that I can put in my haven't met database. These are people that don't know you. They don't know who you are. You don't know who they are specifically. And then we have the group we call the Mets. Now, those are people that you know personally on an individual basis. They could be maybe people that you've met at a networking group or that might do business with you, maybe another vendors or things like that. It could be allied resources like maybe title company or appraisers or landscapers or mortgage companies. That could be in that Met group, people that know you. Could be advocates. Maybe it's people you've done business with in the past. And will continue to do business with in the future. Those are people that would refer business to you, so you put them in your Met group. And then your core advocates. Core advocates, those are people that they will support you. You know, that they're what we call, or you might call, raving fans. They're people that will introduce several people to you over the course of the year that may need real estate help. Or maybe it's a builder, or maybe it's someone that's doing a lot of real estate investing or something along those lines. So those are your core advocates. So basically, as you're going through your database and you're setting that up, you might want to have two groups. So maybe you just make it Now you can make it as many groups as you want, but if you want to just kind of keep it simple, you got your haven't mets and your mets. So you might communicate a little differently with these two groups of people. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So so the mets and the haven't mets, they bring you business from three sources. So it comes from, you're going to have repeat business. Okay, so past clients that buy or sell home again. You'll have referrals. So those clients that you are using or past clients, and you're going to ask them for referrals, so you're going to get business from the referrals. And then you also have new people coming in. So maybe that's the referrals from the other agents in the office, or that's people at an open house that you meet, or people that are calling on a sign, or things like that. So you're going to have some new business coming in. You'll have your repeat business, and you'll have referral business. So Mets can provide you, with repeat, referral, and new business. Haven't Mets, they can only provide you with new business, but they may provide you with referral business as well, particularly when you have a targeted haven't Mets area. So those are basically the two types of people that we'll have in our database: the Mets and the haven't Mets.
Okay.
Okay. So as you're thinking about that, do you have any business that you can think of that maybe you've received from your Mets group? Maybe it's repeat business, or maybe it's friends or family, neighbors, perhaps.
Yes, I have. Are you asking me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I actually have another business, and sometimes when I'm talking about that, like the other day, my real estate business cards fell out, and I said, oh, I also sell real estate, and they were like, I said, so if you want to buy a house, and they were like, oh, we need to sell our house, and I was like, oh. Here you go. So
there you go.
yeah, so I mean, like, when we're out somewhere, I have friends, and they always take my cards to put wherever they're at and their jobs and stuff like that. So I always have them on me to put anywhere, stuff like that. So I mean, I haven't gotten a sale from it yet, but it's all starting new. So
yeah. So you're getting some new business, just randomly running into people here. Oh, you're thinking about selling, and so that's fantastic. Yeah. And then the repeat business will come as you grow your business, as you have these transactions, you provide great service, and those referrals will come.
Right. And then when I find like some of the rentals and stuff, then in talking, I'll be like, well, next year when your rental is up, you can call me and we'll look for a new house, and so I'll just make sure that all year that I keep in contact with all of them to see.
Right. Right. That's the important thing. You want to feed the database and then keep in contact with it. So if we lose touch and we don't communicate with them, then that could be a lost opportunity there. So I want to talk for a couple of minutes about the database. And have you heard of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book? Denise, that's a red book. Gary Keller wrote the book. It has a red cover. You might have seen it around.
I've heard people tell me about his book, but I looked up online and I couldn't figure out which book because there's a few of them.
Yeah. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent is a great book. So that'd be a nice one to get. They do sell it everywhere. I think online you can get it. Millionaire Real Estate Agent, they give us some calculations for how many Mets and haven't Mets you should have to work with to achieve basically 320 transactions in a single year. Now, you might not want to do 320 transactions a year, but we'll use that for example purposes. So for the Mets, it's assuming a 12-to-2 conversion rate. So let's say you have 12 people in your Met database, and you're communicating with them systematically, then you should get one sale and one referral out of 12 people over the course of a year. Okay, And then we have some specific contact plans, touch point plans that we'll go through with you in a little bit as well. So if you've got those people in your MET database, you're communicating with them on a regular basis, then you should get that 12 to 2 conversion rate. So for every 12 people in there, 2 transactions.
Got it.
Okay. So so there's a couple of ways that you can get to that 320 closed transactions per year. So if you have 1,920 people in your MET database, those are people that know you, you would hit that 320 transactions per year. Or let's say you didn't have any METs and you had only haven't METs, it would take 16,000 haven't METs to get that ratio. So for the haven't METs, your conversion ratio of getting business from them is not the same as the METs. So it's better to have more METs than not METs. Okay. So the more people we meet, we put in the database, the better. And then if we had 960 METs and 8,000 in the not METs, then we would also still hit 320 sales per year.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, the models that they use in that book. They go through the database and the numbers that you should have if you communicate with them systematically. So there's different categories. If you wanted to go a little bit deeper with the METs and not METs, you wanted to categorize them a little bit more, you could do that as well. You know, maybe a general core advocates, those top group of people, the advocates, allied resources, and go out from there. You know, but if you're just starting out, you can just keep it simple, the METs and the not METs, and make 2 categories and communicate with those 2 groups. So here's some sources to think about for people in your MET database. Obviously, family, friends, neighbors, school, or maybe your children's school or past schools, people that you do business with, maybe your dentist, your doctor, your grocery store, grocer, your butcher, whatever the case is. Any sports or hobbies, activities that you're involved with, you should put those people into your MET database as well. Former employers, coworkers, suppliers, customers, organizations that you're involved with, maybe a church group that you're involved with as well. So these are easy people you can go ahead and put into your MET database.
Okay.
You know, so even if they're not an immediate sale, even if they're not an immediate buyer or seller, you know, it's still, people are going to know someone over the course of a year. If we have a family member that, even if they're not in the area, maybe they're in California, and it's a family member in California. Well, obviously they're not going to buy or sell anything in New Jersey, but they might know of someone in California that wants to buy or sell, and wouldn't it be nice to get a referral from them and then introduce them to a Keller Williams agent out in California? So that's the way that we can make, through referrals, we can make money on a transaction that we had nothing to do with. So especially if you're sending them out to California, the sales prices out there are much higher than here, and you can make a nice amount of money just referring business out. So put everybody in there, even if you don't think they're going to buy or sell right now, even if they're out of the area, you can still put them into their database.
Right. Actually, my son is in the Army and lives in Kentucky, and he's looking to buy a house, so that's what I did, looked up a Keller Williams agent and got him in contact with that person, and they're actually closing on the house this Friday, so I'll get a referral from that.
Excellent, great. Yeah, that's the referrals are a great way to make some extra money, and you know, and if we keep in touch with people, it'll really help us grow our businesses. So we talked about putting people into the database, and now we talked about creating the database. So we've got the database, we've got some ideas of the categories of people, how we want to communicate with them. And then the important thing is to feed it every day. So here's a strategy that you can use. This is from one of our courses, Keller Williams University courses, Ignite, which talks about what we call the daily 10-4, which is, one is make 10 new contacts every day, or at least, you know, say you're working 5 days a week, it could be 10 new contacts. So let's say, or I'm going to talk to somebody about real estate today. I want to talk to 10 people about real estate today. And that could be going through friends, family, neighbors, or it could be randomly running into people with your other businesses, other activities that you're doing during the day. So you've talked to 10 new contacts, enter those 10 people into your database, and then write 10 notes. So something that's rare to see nowadays is a note card, to get a nice note card from somebody. Write them a quick note, send it out. The other fourth thing, so we've got the 10 new contacts, 10 people in your database, write 10 notes, and then the fourth one is preview 10 homes. So this could be 10 homes, that's 10 homes a week, not 10 homes a day, but 10 homes a week. So that's a way, just to get an idea of, get familiar with the market, get familiar with the inventory. So it's important to, especially maybe starting out, maybe not familiar with some of the areas, get familiar with what's available, and you can actually preview the home. You don't have to have a specific buyer for that home. You can actually go ahead and preview it even without having a buyer. So those are what we call the daily 10-4. Those are activities that you can go ahead and implement right away to help you to grow your database.
Like preview, like go out and preview it, like, or just
right. You would just schedule an appointment with, you pull up a couple listings that you're interested in, or an area that you like, or whatever. Call the appointment number and tell them you're previewing the home, and then they'll give you the access information. You can go out and take a look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you pick 10 homes a week, or let's say maybe 2 days a week, I'm going to look at 5 homes this one day, and I'm going to look at 5 more homes, later in the week. Just to get familiar with the inventory.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just a practical aspect, would be the 10-4. It's a way that you can use that to help you feed the database and grow that database. There's a lot of ways you can expand your MET database too. We talked about, it could be a personal visit with a past customer, friend or old friend or neighbor or something like that. It could be a phone call. It could be meeting people through community, open houses. A lot of different ways we can meet people, put those into the database. And so what do we need in order to feed that database? Well, you obviously need your name. So the name's important, last name's important. Home address, when you can get it, you get the home address. Not to mean that you have to mail to them, but it's nice to have it. Get a home phone number, get their email address, cell phone number. And if you can get a business card, that's helpful too, because then you'll have a little bit more additional contact information from them. So you want to basically get as much as you can in order to communicate with them on a regular basis. And so what I want to talk to you about, we're going to wrap it up in a couple of minutes here, but I'll just want to talk quickly about a couple of the ways that we communicate with the database. So when you're setting up that e-edge, you're going to have campaigns. And if you need help with that, we have the marketing consultant that can help with that. If you want to contact maybe our front desk, and they can connect you with how to get connected with those classes, but they can help you set up those campaigns, I believe, within the e-edge. So there's 8x8, which is 8 contacts over a course of 8 weeks. So that's when you first meet someone, you would set them up with the 8x8. 8 contacts over the course of 8 weeks, and then that's just to kind of cement the relationship. And then from there, depending on who they are, if it's a have not met, you might put them on a 12x12 campaign, which is 12 contacts over the course of 12 months. So that's once a month. Okay, and then if they're a MET database, someone that you've met, then you put them in what we call a 33-touch program. So that's 33 touches over the course of the year. So that's a little more intense. And then in e-edge, you can set that up for 4 phone calls. It should always be 4 phone calls. So once a quarter, you want to call them. Okay, and then it'll set up via email. You can set it up. They'll be sending out periodic emails throughout the course of the year. They also have options to do some mailings as part of that. If you want to send out postcards, things like that. So or you can do a combination of email, postcards as well. So those are basically the contact plans that you can set up through e-edge. And it's fairly easy to do that. And like I said, we do have that marketing consultant that will Scott Leroy Marketing. He can help you set that up. So if you want to contact him, I'll help you with that. So any questions? Any questions on the database?
No. No, I have watched some of his videos, so,
Okay.
like I said, I just haven't set up a campaign yet.
Mm-hmm.
The rentals pretty much run you like crazy, but.
Yeah. Well, it's something to think about is, the rental, you might be busy right now, but your business is your database. So it's important to feed it, keep putting people into the database, and then set those campaigns up. Like I said, call them, the marketing company, and get those campaigns set up, because like I said, it's pretty easy to do. And once you have it and get the hang of it, it'll be easy for you to just be able to communicate with those people.
Okay.
And even if you don't do that, just go ahead, go through your contacts and give them a phone call. You can call everybody you have in there. And I'd also encourage you to set a goal of how many people you want to put into that database too. Like I said, the more people you can put in, and the quicker you can put them in, the faster your business will grow. So how many people could you see yourself putting into the database in the next month?
Probably have at least 20 I can add in this month.
Okay, I want to challenge you to double that. Okay.
Okay.
Let's make it 40. That's 10 people a week. That's
okay.
We talk about the 10 people a week. So that would be 40 over the next month. Are you good with that?
Yeah. Yes, I'm writing as I'm talking.
Okay. So yeah, let's do 10 people a week, adding 10 people a week into the database over the next month. And if you can continue to do that, and do that that's 40 people a month over the next. You just continue to do that pace. You'll really create a great database for yourself.
Okay.
And if you break it down, it's not that 10 people a week. You could actually, if you want to step that up, you can make it 10 people a day, and then you'd really be on your way quick.
All right.
If you did 10 people a day, 5 days a week, you'd be looking at 50 people a week.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So that's very doable, depending on how much time you have to be able to dedicate to it.
Right.
But the quicker you build up the database, and the quality of people you put in it too. So you want to make sure you're getting good quality people, not just random people that you find on the internet or something like that. So you want people in that MET database. So work on the MET database, getting in touch with people, and reach out to those past clients, friends, family members, neighbors, past coworkers, things like that, and see how many people you can get into that database in the next month.
Great.
All right, and then this is a great topic, and we ran out of time pretty quickly, so we might have to come back to this in the next call. We'll go through a little bit more in depth with the database.
Sounds good.
All right, Denise. So thanks for joining me. Have a great day.
Thanks, you too.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.